If you come to my channel insulting me, I will permanently ban you. If you write toxic comments, I will delete your comments and block your account. If you behave inappropriately, try to put yourself on my level or somehow have this attitude that you are gonna teach me, I will ban you. How you behave is up to you. There is no place for ego on this channel. There's absolutely no place for ego on this channel. There is absolutely no place for ego on this channel. I'm not your entertainer. I'm not some kind of spiritual artist that is gonna make you feel good, kumbaya, stuff like that. I don't need that. I'm not doing this for a living. Maybe in the future I will, who knows. Then I will treat the followers and disciples as clients, that I provide a service and they provide financial remuneration on there and keep client happiness. Who knows in the future, but right now I'm working in banking. I'm not even going to give my credentials. The only thing I can give is my Western credentials. I have a master's degree in financial economics, so I'm an economist. My average grade was A, so it was a top grade master's in financial economics. I've worked in the financial services industry for about 7 to 8 years. I now work in banking with risk modeling. Don't expect me to talk nonsense. I work with numbers all day. I work with economics all day. This is it. My parents are both political. My father is an ex-politician. My mother used to be active in a political party when she was younger. She's still pretty active. So this is the history that shapes us. Allah put me in this body with these parents and with this skill for Allah's purpose. Allah does as Allah wills. Allah moves the spirit, which is ultimately Allah, in the way that Allah wants. And there is nothing we can do to stop it. You see, people don't understand when they talk how little they know. People really don't understand how little they know. You see, when you come to a Sufi channel, you have to have the humility to be a student. Because if you have the humility to be a student, you will learn and you will benefit. But if you think that you are the teacher, you're not going to learn shit. And that's the funny thing. The students, it's the same in university, who learn a lot are very humble. They're the ones who become very knowledgeable. The arrogant pricks don't learn shit and they remain ignorant, and that's because of their ego. And that's the same in Sufism. If you go to a sheikh, be humble and make yourself a student, because then you can benefit from what the sheikh teaches. But if you have the amount of discipline and attention to be humble for 1 second, then the sheikh says something that you don't agree with or your ego doesn't agree with, you start arguing and showing your nasty attitude and nasty ego. You're not going to learn anything and you're going to have nobody to blame but yourself because of your ego. Because there are students who are humble. There are students who have followed me for a long time who have learned and benefited from the teachings. And that is because they are humble and they are making themselves students and they are making me a teacher and they will benefit from my teaching. And those people, when they go somewhere else, they will learn from those people as well. They are constant learners. Wherever they go, they will learn. This is the fundamental of what the sheikh and the murid, the master and the disciple. It's not something mystical. It's not something very abstract, kumbaya. It's just be humble to be a student. Put your ego aside. Just like when you go to math class or to music class, if you want to learn, put it aside. Put that big ego that I know better aside, or else you can't benefit at all. And it's just that I've also learned that people who think they know a lot have no clue of how little they know. There are many people in spirituality who think that they have come very far, but they are not even on the first or second maqam of the Sufi path. And there are 9 stations. There are 9 levels on the Sufi path. And it's just so funny to me to talk to someone who who talks about meditation and feels that they have reached enlightenment. I've been in these conversations many times with people who really feel that they are enlightened and they have astral projected to the higher realms, and I'm afraid to say to them that you are not even on the second or third level of the Sufi path. You have barely come to istiqama and taqwa, like steadfastness and fear of Allah. You are barely on those levels. Even less so, you have not passed the levels of iman, truthfulness, sincerity, inner peace, and entered the levels of ihsan with muraqabah being meditation. That's the 7th level. So people thinking they are on the 7th level of the path, they are in reality maybe on the 1st or 2nd or 3rd level. I'm just saying that people really don't know how little they know, and if they knew what station they actually are on, they would be way more humble. But I don't say it because I know their ego can't handle to hear what station they are actually on. But just to say, roughly like this, 99% of people are on nafs amara. That's the lowest level of self. Ego. I want to be right. I will never admit that I'm wrong. These people are not spiritually awakened. They are blind, deaf, and their hearts are sealed. Then when Allah turns the heart, tawbah, they go through spiritual awakening. That's 1%. Who start seeing themselves for the first time. Then they are on the 2nd level, or nafs lawama, or the 1st level of the Sufi path, which is tawbah. Okay. But out of these 1% who awaken, less than 1%, 0.1%, 0.001% reach the level of ma'rifah, or knowing. In every tariqah, which is very, very small group of people out of the many, in that tariqah, there are very, 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 very few people who are sincere. And out of the sincere ones, there are very few people who reach the level of knowing. So that can give you a picture of where you can statistically sort of, and yes, I'm a statistician, I work with probabilities, statistically expect when you see your next random awakened, woke, or whatever, enlightened person, you can statistically sort of estimate where roughly they are on the path. It's very, very few. So 1% out of all population ever go through awakening, probably less than that. And out of these 1%, less than 0.1% reach the level of knowing. And less than 1% of those 1% are even sincere. And out of the sincere ones, maybe 1% reach the level of knowing. So 1% out of 1% out of 1%, roughly. It's probably even less than that. And if you calculate the number of, the population of the world, 7.6 billion, and look at the members of Tariqa and these inner paths, you will see that the number is not even 1%. It's probably 0.01%. It's much less than that. So there you have your and the truth. Be humble. If you are one of the sincere ones, the more you are humble, the more you will learn. The more you will learn, the more you will benefit. Peace.